Good sleep hygiene is enormously important because it increases our attention, reduces our irritability, improves memory, reduces stress, contributes to quicker thinking, and facilitates the acquisition of new information. Most people need about 8 hours of sleep. There's really not a lot of back and forth about this, except for among individuals who said, I only need 4 hours, or I can only get 4 hours. But all the science says around 8 hours is ideal for the human mind to function. So try that. Consistency in your sleep cycles is also very important. Make sure that you're getting up at the same time and going to bed at the same time. Even things like naps, any way that you can add consistency to your sleep cycles is really going to help the way that your body naturally uses energy and gets into rhythms throughout the day. Sometimes people with ADHD fall victim to what I call the night owl fallacy, which is thinking I'm just nocturnal. And that is definitely the case. I mean, some people are morning people and some people are night people. But take into consideration very seriously the fact that you might be getting large amounts of energy at night because you feel like the external obligations of the day are gone, and now you're able to focus on the things that you're actually excited about. Okay, we often spend our day paralyzed thinking about what we should be doing. And then once the sun sets, we think, okay, good, now I have all this energy. And that's really more about switching your focus and giving yourself permission to do what you wanted to do all along. So don't let that kind of mindset and that obstacle convince you that you should just be staying up all night and that's just how your body works, when actually it could be a problem with how you use your desire and your time throughout the day. Okay, so to get to sleep, it's really important to make your bedroom a sleep place exclusively, a palace of slumber. And so with that, I would say get your TV out of your bedroom. Don't make your bedroom a cinema. Put things that don't have a lot of lights. Put boring books in your bedroom. You can take a warm bath. I think a nice wind down ritual through the end of the day is great for some people. Definitely some kind of routine should accompany you getting to sleep. So mentally you're preparing yourself for just laying down and closing your eyes. I like to have rain sounds on. Some people really like restrictive bedding or a weighted blanket to kind of make them feel comfortable when they go to sleep. Warm milk works for some people. Light snack. You don't want to go to sleep necessarily super hungry, but you don't want to be eating a full meal before bed either. So, but whatever's going to make you feel comfortable and help you get to sleep. I really think for our generation, it's mostly about getting away from the screens. Not a lot of active play before bed, drugs. You could also be having medication-related issues, medication side effects. In that case, you want to talk to your medical professional, maybe get on something, that cuts out a little bit earlier in the day, or change the kind of medication that you're using. So those are some sleep obstacles to sort of consider. As I said, waking up is its own ritual. I loved the change from an alarm that sounded like an alarm clock to an alarm that plays a song that I like and is really chill and kind of builds. It's great. It can be the corniest music in the world, but anything is better than the sound of an alarm clock. Try to keep that alarm out of the bedroom too. If you have trouble with hitting the snooze button or turning your alarm off rather than getting out of bed, make yourself walk for it and put the alarm next to the coffee maker or something like that. That can really help. But for those committed like I was to sleeping through our alarms, even that is easy to go back to sleep through. So again, at the end of the day, it is going to take a little bit of willpower. But if you're having trouble getting to sleep or waking up, get out of bed in both cases. Take a little walk and then come back, because you don't want to be laying in bed awake is when you start to explore your demons and you're not doing anything, you're not feeling productive, so it's easy to get negative. And when you're out on a walk, especially outside in the moonlight at night or in the sunlight in the morning, that's what really blasts the demons off your body. So make sure that you don't just lie in bed awake. And start the day with something that motivates you, something that you're excited about doing every morning. And that's different for everybody, but set yourself up for success by doing something that makes you feel like you're exactly the kind of person that you want to be, the kind of person that you'd admire. Whatever that first thing is really going to set the tone for the whole day. Next, we'll talk about exercise, which is a huge part of your physiological treatment. Your body is a reflection of your unconscious thoughts and habits, so it's important to take care of your body so that you show people that you love yourself and you have self-esteem and confidence. It's proven to also boost a lot of your executive functioning even a few hours after you do the exercise. There are a couple ways you can tackle your exercise routine. Try to get 45 minutes every day. I like to set one 45-minute workout at the end of my workday. That doesn't work for everybody, though. And sometimes it's good to just have your exercise equipment out or be ready to do 10 push-ups and 20 crunches several times throughout your day. And that can be a great way to break up and transition from task to task. And honestly, I go back and forth sometimes to do my workout. And doing extra is never going to hurt you as much as doing nothing will. So just keep track of what you're doing. Try some of the exercises listed here. Those you can look all those up online, or I'm happy to go through those with people. And then obviously at the bottom, there's basketball, jogging, yoga. You can swim, bike. Those are a little bit more sport-like exercise activities that you can do, which are great, but just exercise enough to meet your goals that you set and choose activities that fit your schedule, your abilities, and your needs. Start slowly, build up gradually, and stick with it. Next, we'll talk about diet, your body's infrastructure. The roads, highways, waterways, and power lines of your body are all composed of minerals, vitamins, and fatty acids, which can be found in a balanced diet. So this is how you provide the chemicals your body needs to function. It's important to get enough of each of these things, and it's also important to deal with the stress that cooking, eating, and hunger can create. For instance, atypicals often forget to eat and then end up grabbing anything that's around and then quickly stress eating that thing. And that can create sort of an inconsistent relationship with food, which can cause us stress, cause us to not eat as regularly, and even contribute to atypical suffering from a propensity towards eating disorders. So to avoid this, it's important to do things like set consistent meal times. That's really good, especially for breakfast and dinner. It's not always the same for lunch. Depending on your work environment, it certainly could be. So consistent meal times across the board. And you don't need to have 3 meals a day. Whatever works for you to get your needs met. Another great way to prioritize meal times is to eat with others, and that will help it be like a meeting, and you're excited about talking to that person, seeing that person, and also they have an expectation that you'll be there. So just by having that extra level of accountability, now you're prioritizing your mealtime. In your treatment notebook, you can also jot down treatment notes if you're going to try changing your diet a little bit, maybe eat some more fruit this week and see how you feel, and just jot down any observations you have in your treatment notebook. As far as good foods and bad foods, I'm not going to get into it too much, or I guess I can say that, but here's a list of mostly good stuff, but the reality is the jury's kind of out on what's actually good and what's not, and it's probably on a case-by-case basis between, different people and what works for them and their biome and all that, their gut biome. So, take this with a grain of salt, pun intended, and make sure that you're getting a balance and you're listening to your body and what it feels like it needs. There's a lot of back and forth about what's good for your diet and what's not. So I'm not going to try to be a definitive source on what those things are. These are generally considered safe picks for things that are good for you because they provide a lot of those vitamins, minerals, and fatty acids that we talked about at the top. So try to put as much of this into your diet as you can and really listen to your body. I didn't prepare a slide for bad foods. Essentially, we're talking about a lot of manufactured processed foods that have a super long shelf life and also high fat diets with a lot of red meat. All of that is linked to greater levels of depression and potentially brain swelling. So avoid high fat diets and a lot of super manufactured processed foods.